We're talking about how to go from here to here. So now we're on the section of the first W, which is ways in. And we're going to go through the various weapons. How to get in with a kick, how to get in with a punch. And then while we're in, which will be the elbows and knees, okay? So I go from the longest weapons, hands and feet, to the next in line, knees and elbows. And then furthermore, I'm actually entangling with my opponent. So I back up, he just follows. One, he's going to keep elbows in, so I don't hit his elbows. Back up, fire. Those elbows in. Yeah. Ideally, guys, where am I aiming? A lot of people think like I'm hitting the body. And I discussed this with Johnson on too, because it's a big misconception. If I'm hitting the body, I'm running the risk of hitting the elbow and the hip. And for the guys in Thailand that don't eat a whole lot of food, these bones are pretty big and they stick out. And 90% of the time you try to kick their ribs, you hit their elbows and knees. And it ruins your instep. Okay, so it's not like the Thai people have stronger bones or they have, their bodies are more conditioned, they kick trees. That's garbage, that's nonsense. They're just smarter. They have better steering, they don't go for just horsepower. They have better steering, better brakes, better tires, okay, better suspension. Okay, these things are control features. This is what I want. This is what I need in a fight. I remember after the first couple fights I had, I was beat up, bedridden for like weeks. And I was like, how do these guys have like 400 fights? Like, what? I don't get it. And I asked all my training partners, and they said, I said, does it get easier? Like, are my legs going to get used to this? They're like, no. I was like, really? Like, so it feels like this after every fight? And they're like, yeah, pretty much. And I'm like, I don't know if I want to do this for the rest of my life. Like, I'm on bout number 4, and I got 460 to go, whatever some of these guys got. And I was like, I don't think I'm into this. But I found out later that they explained to me that body doesn't get any stronger. Actually, over the long term, over the long haul, it gets weaker, but you become wiser. You know when to kick. So as an amateur, if I go to do this and he blocks, you pick your leg up. As an amateur, I'll go and I'll kick the block. You hold your block up, I'll go. Because I think like that's what you do. Like, you go shin to shin, you kick and you block. No. As a professional, I'll go to kick, he'll block, and then I'll go somewhere else. I have better control, better steering, better brakes. These are better components to have than horsepower. Okay, so going back to where I'm aiming, I don't want to run the risk for injury and kick the elbows and kick the knee, kick the hip, just because I want to hit his ribs. Unless he's throwing a punch and he's in full stride and I see it and I'm like, yummy. And I'm like, I see ribs, I want ribs, I'm having ribs. All right, but most of the time, just a blind kick here, aiming for the ribs is a risky move. So where do I aim? I aim for shoulder and glove, okay? And again, the old concepts of boxers coming in and beating up the arms, getting these shoulders tied so I can't pick my hands up, I can't throw punches. Okay, so kind of the same concept. It's better for me to what I call make the point in Thailand. I'm doing this with my fingers, make the point, okay? Because I run least risk of injury, the judges see that I landed and he didn't block, and I'm unscathed. So ideally, when we're practicing these drills, keep the elbows in. Don't think, I got to hit the ribs. I'm aiming right here. Is there a Thai pad around here? This is what I see. This is all I see. Ready? Stance? Good. This is what I see. Everybody see that? That's all I see. I just see a giant Thai pad. Hands. That's it. Every now and then I'll do one of these, fall. But that's all I see. I see a Thai pad in his arm, so I want to aim there. So nice and relaxed, kind of aim for the glove. And guys, think about this probability-wise. Okay, if I'm hitting these, I'm occupying them, right? If I hit the leg, he can still use his hands. See it? Same here, if I'm aiming for the body, he can still go wherever he wants to go. But if I occupy these by hitting the gloves, see it? And I'm occupying his arms. He has to defend unless he's going to eat it. So high kick, or not necessarily head kick, but higher than the ribs is ideal because it occupies my opponent's guard. Does that make sense? So that's where we're aiming. How does Micho defend? He doesn't just take it. His arms aren't big like mine. So he has to use these. Okay, so one here and one catch. That's it. Show me again. That's it. There you go. So this is the defense. So I'm just going to back up once or twice, find the right range, and fire. Back up, fake, and fire. Remember, the fake is equally important. Okay, it's oftentimes, we described this last time, I'm doing this, he's chasing me, and I do that, and it buys me that much more time to get out. Okay, so a couple steps back, and we'll go this way long-wise. Just slowly retreat, find your footing, and go. And he goes. He retreats, I follow, and I go. Now this one, on the second coming, I do the fake. Then I go. He backs up, and just fake to freeze. I call him freeze him up. Fake to freeze, fake to freeze. Even that little bit makes a difference. Even whether it's just eyes, intentions, body, okay? It's all disruption for my opponent. I want to break their rhythm. Okay? Everybody get this. On 3, 1, 2, 3. Line up this way, let's go. Bruce Lee, the art of philosophy of Bruce Lee Jeet Kune Do, we call PIA, progressive indirect attack. This is what AKA feints are. Okay? So remember, my body language is equally as important as my facial expressions. So if I'm like this, and I go, I'm just like, oh man, what are we doing? That's when I go. So I'm here like this. Not only do I back up, if I drop my hands, I kind of slow down for a second, and then I surprise. So facial expression equally important. On 3, 1, 2, 3. Okay, so now I'm going back, nice and relaxed. I fake, pop, pop, and I 1, 2. Straight down the pipe. Do it again. Just get him enough to go from here to here, just to freeze up his hand. One more time. Stepping back slowly. Down the middle. And remember, when I'm doing this, guys, when I'm kicking, when I'm punching, remember what I used? I used the term, make the point. I don't know where I get that because that's a Dutch thing. They're like, oh, make the liver punch, make the point. All right, we'll get the point. Wait, same thing, whatever. Okay, so I'm trying to score, in other words. Okay, so I back up, freeze them, covers, and then I go. And all these are just pitter-patter. I'm not trying to knock him out with these punches. I'm not trying to take his head off with that kick. I'm using this to go where? To get in, ways to get in the clinch. Remember, if I throw big power shots, maybe he throws big power shots back, or he gets out. But if he feels just this little, right now he goes, how often does that happen, right? You see them get hit, ding, ding, and then they're like, got nothing on that. Oh, so now I know you're coming every time. I didn't try to knock you out. I just tried to hit you. There's a difference. An amateur doesn't know that difference. An amateur tries to knock you out with every single kick, punch, attack, whatever. A pro is just baiting every time. It's just, this is the next link in the chain. You bite onto that link, I give you another link. And it's just the beginning of the end, is what I call it. Okay, so ideally, I'm not trying to use power for this. I'm just trying to get the reaction. Because this reaction is all I need to do everything else. Does that make sense? Okay, so retreating, fake, straight 1, 2 down the middle, not trying to kill the guy. On 3, 1, 2, 3. We're faking to freeze him, and then we're executing our attack. Not to kill him, but to get to where we want to. So putting them both together, I back up, freeze them, pop, this keeps my distance, pop, and then I back up. Relax again, one more time, I'm backing up, fake, and then I relax. So back up, quick fake, fire the 1, 2 to set up the kick, pop, and then go. This will be our segue to get next, which is the knee. On 3, 1, 2, 3. So first one we did was I'm retreating nice and slowly, relax, give a little fake, pop, go, and then he thinks this is coming again, pop, and I walk in with the knee. And all I want out of you is just this. So I'm here, I'm backing up, fake to stop him. Remember, because if I'm backing up and he's still coming, I have to kick while I'm retreating. Remember that one little freeze sets my foot and stops him. That's when I use it effectively. So remember, back up, fake to freeze, fire the kick, get inside. So I'm here, fake, he stops. Fire, step, and go. And then I'm up. Okay, so I'm using my walking knee, stepping with the rear, using my lead knee. So one more time. I'm here, backing up, fake, fire, reach and go. Remember, I can't do this while I knee. I have to occupy. These are still threatening to me. So if I just walk in, he fires a punch, dunk, lights out. So I want to make sure I occupy these. One of the best ways to do that is just touch him. Just try to hit me. That's it. All I got to do is put my hands on him. This is one of the best ways to diffuse that situation. And we teach this in law enforcement, hey, blah, 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 just hands. Like, what are you doing with your hands? Give me your hands. Show me your hands. Hands in the air. No, I'm not saying sit in law. You got a bunch of criminal motherfuckers. They were like, oh, shit. So remember, we want to show that I have to freeze my opponent up, okay? And I want to teach you guys that we have to occupy the hands. The hands are problems. Okay, so I'm here. I'm retreating slightly. I freeze them. I fire. Occupy hands. Now I have ways to go here. Left, right, to the side. I pass. I step. And I knee. Remember, I want to occupy center line. Okay, so in order to do so, I need to maintain center line, whether it's here or here. If I do this, you see, now I try to reach in, I try to swim. Okay, so I'm here, stepping back, retreating, fake to freeze, fire, occupy the hands, pass, hand, head, go. Okay, remember, 2 control points, hand and head. The neck is a good hook. The hand is a good hook. I can drag, I can follow up, and I can wrestle from there. So I'm here, backing up, fake the freeze, fire, occupy hand and head. One more time, backing up, freeze them, fire, occupy the head and hand and go. And then once we start to work, we get inside this clinch range, and we not only play Muay Thai, but in terms of MMA, we add arm drags, duck unders, wrestling. That's why I brought my friend Matt Hughes to the side.
Round of applause for Matt Hughes.
Matt Hughes comes creeping in. He's a creeper.
You've known him for a little while.
He is a creeper, this guy. Okay, so once I make that initial attack with my knee, I'm closing distance. Remember, ideally, I'm not just trying to make the point and run. Ideally, I'm trying to work my way incrementally into the clinch. Remember, we talked about 2 ways to deal with your opponent. 1, creating space, bringing him to you, or smothering him. Okay, so this one, I want the clinch. I initiate the clinch. So I backed up, I brought him to me, I froze him up with fakes, I attacked, I went, and now I'm here. I go inside. At this point, I have to determine position because he knows he took the knee, so what's he going to look to do? He's either going to fire back or he's going to grapple. Now we're going to clinch, okay? So before we even get that far, let's talk about how we successfully get in because again, Wrestling 101, we go right to this, body to body. The Thais like to show this a lot when they're clinching. They like to do this and hold the elbow, but remember in MMA you're giving them the underhook. So it's kind of like, oh, that works great for Thai boxing, but if I was gonna go for a takedown right now and not a Thai takedown, like legal, like and I can judo throw, hip toss, whatever it may be, okay, this isn't ideally the best place to be. Okay, so how do we get in here? Okay, I'm gonna get you in, I'm gonna show you a couple of tricks. Matt's gonna show you how to finish while you're in there. Okay, so first pummel we go through. This is not the first pummel. I say pummel right away, everybody goes like this. And they stop doing this, and I'm right into it. See it? I don't want to start there. Remember, I talked about this. This in Silat, Indonesian martial arts, they call harimau. The movement of the hands. You see it? Snaking. So I'm here. This is where we start. Remember, I can't get to the body without passing knees. This is the imminent threat. So I want to fight control. I want to fight wrist. We wrist fight. Wrestlers do this all the time. Fighting for grips, fighting for grips. So I want to occupy these first. How do I do this? Simple as this. Snake. Yeah. And you do the same. Slow. One at a time. Yeah. See it? Yeah, they can see it. This is my way in, guys. Look. This is my way in. Matt's laughing at me. Looks like foreplay. Feels like foreplay. See it? So I'm here. So this is the way in right here. Once I start doing this, see it, look what happens. Little by little, we're now in. See that? Look, I'm out. See it? And I'm in. Out. So a lot of times I want this, I get right in, I'm here like this, I'm fighting grips. Look at, I'm already in. This one's in, this one's controlling the bicep now. So these are the problem. This is the problem right here. So I have to occupy grip or find my way in. It's literally, if hands like out like this, see, I literally go, whoop, 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 and I'm in. Okay, so I do it left, right, you can stand kind of square, one at a time. One, that's it. And I find my way in like this. This is the first one, snaking, okay? Second one is the pummel. Third, I go to biceps. Now I go the other way. Yes, that's it. Next I go here, and he goes, fuck off me. That's it. Biceps. Reverse. Work my way out. Work my way in. Switch directions. Go to neck. Biceps. Back out. Biceps. Neck. And remember, from here, I have all my stuff. We're going to enter with. So start with the snake, 50-50 pummel. I'll call biceps, I'll call neck. And I want you guys eventually to flow in and out of these three ranges. This is our segue to how we find dominant position. On 3, 1, 2, 3.
And I thought inside trip, but then you landed somebody's guard, and the best way to get out of somebody's guard is on the way down. So I'll show us a sweep. And like everything else, we got to set things up. What I always know with my opponent is he's human. So human nature means a lot. Just like what he was showing you when you back up, when you show a little bit of weakness, it's human nature for him to come at you. So I agree with human nature is one of those things you can always kind of count on. Also, if I've done my homework on my opponent, everybody has tendencies and everybody has weaknesses. So you always use human nature against your opponent and your opponent's tendencies and weaknesses. So this is one of those things, it's just human nature. I have to do a two-step, to set this up, I got to do two things. I got to make him step twice. And the first step is going to step with my overhand. I got to make him step with his overhand. When he does that step, he's committed. He's committed to my trip right now. Now my underhand, my big powerful underhand, remember our body has handles all over it. When I grab his big lat right here, even though he wouldn't have a shirt on, it's a big handle for me to pull. Once he's committed with this first step, my next step is a big powerful pull with my lat hand, and as he steps, I trip. Okay, but it's the setup, like most technique, it's the setup that means everything. It's not me sweeping his foot, it's me making him make that first step. Does it make sense? So here I am, my overhand makes it, I want to have him make a step as I look at him, the overhand. Boom. He just committed to my sweep right now. Now I take a big step, my leg close to his foot, that step stays planted, I pull hard, and I somewhat sweep him with my instole. I guess, would this be instole? Instep. Makes sense? So he's committed right now. He's making that big step. Now I know he wants to take a big step with his other leg.
Might have seen him do that before.
This is one of those things to where if you hit it 60 to 70% of the time, you're gonna hit your move. The other 30 to 40% of the time, you're in no danger whatsoever. If he does not, if somehow he steps over my sweep, where am I at? I've lost nothing. So that's what I like about this move is, number one is when he goes down and I hit my move, I'm inside. Number two, if I don't hit my move, I've lost nothing, I'm still standing on my feet. Make sense? I'll show two things from here. So I do my same step. I'm trying to get him to set up. He steps over. Now I'm in perfect position for my inside trip. I power off my back leg. My leg that's close to him is split in his stance. I take and just drive. And there's my takedown. Bad thing is I'm in his guard. The good thing is we're on the ground where we want to be. So when he steps over my foot, I do the same two steps. He commits to that. Now I know he wants to take a big step. When he steps over my foot, you see where I'm at? I'm in a great line to take my inside trip. My shoulder goes from his shoulder down to about his sternum. I drive into him. My hands both go down. The right hand, the underhook hand, around his waistline. The back hand, not all the way down to his knee, but I'm down to his thigh, and I drive and trip. You see how my body slid down and drove forward.
Notice how effortless it is too, guys. When you go and you paint by the numbers, what I call paint by the numbers, and everything is done the right way, the finished product is perfect. If the foundation's off, everything's off. So notice how he does and pay attention to the detail of each particular movement, because that's what makes it effortless. It looks effortless when he does it. He's not muscling.
It feels effortless.
Yeah, it feels
Just go
effortless.
fly it.
Right. So I'm here like this, 50-50. Remember, we had these different trips. All I want to do is use this as my leverage. This is going to take a small step, almost like I'm going to sacrifice. All I want to do is break his stance. One little bump just to break his stance down. Okay, traditional Thai boxing, that'll be easy. Traditional Thai boxing, I do this. I pull the hand and head out, pop, and I go. This is Thai boxing. Very classic. I'm here, we're moving, we're clinching, whatever. I do this, pop, little trip, pop, and then I go. Okay, in MMA, I like a small little movement using this. Remember, all I need is this. See it? But I'm taking that little small step and using him, using the lat. This giant handle right here. Okay, so all I want to do is get him to do this, to brace. So from here, again, traditional Thai boxing, I get this arm out. I want this arm out, and I trap the head. Pop, and I go. Or I'm here, little bump, and I go, and I'm here. MMA, a little simpler. I just get this little bump, flip, and I go here. Okay, I use my head to trap him if I want, but all I'm looking for is this. Remember we talked about this last time, we're on the wall, going how to knee the face. Like, and I'm here like this, and you put the hand down, over here, yeah. You put the hand down, and I go, get off me, but. Remember, that little bit is enough. I can't knee him in the face, it's illegal, but if I just go, then it's legal. Okay, here, yeah, foul. Remember I told you, if you ain't cheating, you ain't trying. Totally legal. Right? So you ain't cheating, you ain't trying. So here, I don't have to worry about that. Unless he puts the hand on the mat all the way down, and then I hit it. But we're not going to get that far, because all I want to do is just go from 50-50, break him down, up, and go here. Okay? So again, belly to belly, 50-50. This is my lever, this leg right here. All I want to do is take a small step behind him, use this as a handle, use my hip as well. Just enough to break him down, and fire. All right, on three, 1, 2, 3.
Push, and as this time, I catch it, I throw it, and I step, and I do the same finish. I just clap elbows and down. Same thing on this side. And I like to push in. When I do any arm drag, a lot of people you'll see guys make a mistake when they do an arm drag. They lean back, they try and do their arm drag, and they come in. Don't do that. When you do an arm drag, I want to be pushing in, and I would like for my opponent to be pushing at me. So human nature tells me if I push him, what's he going to do back? He's going to push back. So I time that. So I push him, and he starts to push me back. There's my arm drag. Third and best arm drag, and it doesn't happen much in MMA, but if he grabs my wrist, my favorite arm drag right here. So he grabs it. If I try and swim away, he'll grab it harder, but I'll do that 2 times. Swim away, I'm trying to get my arm away. Swim away. Now when he comes back, I do the same thing. I come back, this arm grabs. Inside, outside, and the arm grabbing the wrist. You see, I mean, if I'm in here, you'll see people grab my wrist, and it's easy to bring your knee up and just block it and this and that. But there'll be a situation where somebody's grabbing your wrist, and you can bump away.
That's also just, in a perfect world.
Questions?
Inside, outside, grabbing the wrist. Make sense?
Elbows in, collapsing.
Heavy. No daylight between you and your opponent.
Coach Matt will walk you around.
Do we choose any side we want, left or right?
I want you to do both. You want on the left side inside, you want on the right side inside, outside, then grabbing the wrist. Now, I want you to be fluid. Human nature says, or the laws of the earth are, you're going to be good on your right side and you're going to have opportunities on your left side. So just you got to know both sides.
Okay, guys,
Ready?
on 3, 1, 2, 3. Go. Thai boxer version. So here we are, bicep control. Okay, he's got my biceps. Sometimes I let him have the biceps. Okay, ideally we go here and then he's gonna swim one at a time. Good, and you see this style of pummeling. Eventually I can take this away from him. Up, go, and I have inside stuff here as well. See that again? 1, 2, he goes, I take it away, up, and then I'm inside right here, windshield. Okay, so this is a little more intricate. We're not gonna do this. So I give him bicep control. I want to fake, look, I can't get your head, I can't get your body, I can't do that. All I do from here is take one in, pick a side, and extend. This literally comes from Wing Chun Kung Fu. This is Fuksab. See this? And all I'm doing is breaking the grip. Don't make fun of it. This is breaking the grip. I'll fucking bust your ass right now, Matt Hughes. I'll take you down to Chinatown, Matt Hughes.
Be a good partner, Matt. Be a good partner.
They were laughing. My man over here said, he's like, I felt like I was in a reality show. I felt like I was getting punked. Like Matt Hughes just walked into the cemetery. Imagine if I didn't know and somebody like Matt walks in, I'd be like, throw a punch like this. Frozen. So I'm here, I give him this illusion of, look, you have control over me. I can't get inside, I can't get inside. Pick a side. Okay, I'm gonna go left and just blade your hand. Break, up, go, pass and drag. So one more time, I'm here. Okay, and I'll just show kind of neutral, 50-50. Use this radial to break, hit. This stuffs and passes to here. One more time. Break the grip. Elbow, pass to the drag and go. So we're here, I'm showing biceps, I can't control you. Hit the split, and I go. One more time.
I like it.
Biceps, I can't get you, I can't get you. Hit it, and drag and go. Okay, one more time, slow. You ready?
It's like hitting me.
That's the only thing I'll get.
Where's it? Better for the camera. Sit right here.
Yeah. Wait till tonight when I'm not looking. Here, break, go, drag, move in, and I'm in. Okay, on three, 1, 2, 3.
I'm a big fan of this because I know that through my wrestling days, if I pull his head down and he arches back to get his head up, what's he doing? He's wearing himself out big time. This is the best way for you to wear somebody out is keep their head down. And I love to control. I'm a very motivated person because if I'm, what's your first name again? Misha. Misha. If I'm with Misha. Huh?
No, I like Misha better.
Misha.
Call him Misha.
What is it?
Misho.
Misho.
Yeah, but I prefer Misha now.
If I'm with Misho at the gym and he lifts more than me, I'm motivated to lift as much as him. If I'm with Misho and I lift more than he does, I'm motivated because I get to make him look bad. Does it make sense? So I'm a very, very, very motivated person. Motivated in every way. So I'm motivated to be here because I know he's hurting. He hates being here. He's wearing himself out. And so it's great for me to be here. I was taught years ago by Pat Miletich, who's probably the best striker that I've ever trained with because he uses everything. Knees, kicks, elbows. He's great. His strongest kick is definitely his lead leg, which boggles me, but you don't want to get hit with his lead leg. And he had taught me to come in and cup the head and come down that way. I kind of got away from that because I just didn't feel like I could control him as much. And when I'm here, Pat also taught me that when I've got my hands on somebody, my old wrestling style, he's going to light me up. I can't just be here and be still with my hands on somebody like I would in a wrestling match because he'd be punching me like crazy, I'd be hurt. So when I come in here, I kind of grab, I get very comfortable, my elbows go together, and I come in and I put his head down. And I want him working the whole time. From here, I'll bring him all the way down the ground. When he gets his hands on the ground, he's no threat anymore. So I'll work him around. As soon as he comes here, that's where I want to be. Guys, what I want you to do is I want you to get comfortable. Some people like to lock their hands like this. I do like to cut my hands, but I'm more on the back of the neck and the bottom of the head. Pat would have told me to come all the way up on top because you got more leverage. I'm strong enough, I don't need that leverage. So I come here and I get as comfortable as I can. I make my forearms pushing into him. I want to touch his clavicles the whole time, and my elbows are going together. I pinch his head in. It's like a bull shoot. He's got his head in the bull shoot right now. His head's now mine. And where the head goes, the body follows. There we go. So here I am. And I can't sit here and sit still. I've got to be jerking him around. I've got to be taking my angles. So I'm not going to show any striking because Mr. Dellagrotte is going to show you the striking.
And from there, guys, with that said, we'll do the 2-for-1 package deal, the special. I like from this position, once I get here, they know the knees are coming. So as soon as I get here, this is traditional Thai style clinch. I'm on my toes. I'm actually square. I don't give them a left or a right. I don't give them an option. So I'm here, heads left and right. But a lot of times this is common knees to the body. I like out of nowhere, I don't need a lot of effort, I kind of stay upright and I literally just pick my knee up. This is the best way to knee the face. It's because it's uncommon. People think the knee's coming to the body. And he's pulling his head out, he's trying to make posture, and I'm doing this. But all I do now is I kind of give him a little room, relax him a little bit, and then straight up the middle. Okay, so without losing chiclets, no chiclets on the mat, do exactly what Matt was saying. Thai style clinch necktie. Every now and then, if you want, let go of one hook, short stroke, or up the middle. And I don't show this. That's the illusion. That's the way he knows it's coming. I literally just kind of stay here, short move, up the middle. Everybody thinks from this position I gotta get big power. I drop my hips back, I pull his head down. They know it's coming now. Okay, and you notice too when I hit, where am I elbowing? Am I elbowing the face? I'm not looking to maim or scar or lacerate the skin. I'm hitting the neck. It's the old karate chop. None of these. Lights out. You pinch the garden hose, you see the water go, that's the six pack. Out. Okay, so I'm not trying to hit the head, I'm just going here. Right on the neck. And then I go back. Then I go back. And then I don't try to set up my hips, I just kind of leave them here and straight up the middle. So add this to what Matt just showed you. You want to add to that?
Yeah, I like to do offense defense. So if he's got me in a clinch, I don't want my head down. If you could see when he was doing this here, I tried to lower my stance a little bit, and I want my head above my shoulders. That's going to help me out in kind of all situations. So no matter what he does, I want to try and get my head up right here. A lot of times from here, I'll come in if I get caught, and I'll come in and I'll push up and back. So if he's here and I can get my head up straight, that would be my first defense. But I always kind of have, no matter what's going on, I always want to control his hips. Because now then I can feel those knees. I don't have to look at it. Now he's going to ragdoll me a little bit, but if I can come here and I can put my hands on those hips, I can kind of feel what he's going to do. I want him to telegraph to me what's going to happen next. Because for him to do any movement, he's got to fire a core muscle first. I'm on his core. I can feel if he's going to do something.
All right, guys. Yep. On three. 1, 2, 3.
Guys, come on around, guys. I'm going to show you my favorite takedown ever, and I think it's super simple. And then we'll go into wall stuff right after that. When like Robbie Lawler fights, he's a stand-up guy. So I tell Robbie to stay in the painted octagon. You know there's a big octagon, and about 5 feet on the inside there's a painted octagon. Stand-up guys, you guys, stand up, want to stay inside the painted octagon. So I would tell Robbie, stay inside the painted octagon. If I'm telling somebody like Johnny Hendricks or me, I want to take that fight to the metal octagon. I don't want to be out here because this wall is my partner for taking somebody down. So you always see Randy Couture, anybody takedown artist, they're always using this wall as their benefit. Right now he's in no striking stance whatsoever. I don't have to worry about him so much, but also this wall is going to help me. So again, when I get him to the wall, I come down and I try and put my shoulder right in his suplex, in his abdomen. Okay, and I want to try and get him where he's maybe got a grimace. And if you see from my shoulder all the way down through my heel is a straight line. Now he's kind of straightened out where I want him. And if I need to, I'll move in and step. But you see how now I'm really not using my muscle. I want him to kind of be struggling a little bit right here. I don't worry about any type of a chokehold. And when I've got him, my hands are down here. Now when I'm going to push away from the wall with my inside leg, and I'm going to take his knees with me. Okay? So right now I want his heels off the ground somewhat. Yeah. I really don't want, how much do you weigh? 215. He weighs 215. So I want maybe 150 pounds on his feet. Does that make sense? So here I am, I'm pushing up, I'm at a good 45-degree angle. When I decide to pull away, I'm going to pull away violently and quickly, and I'm going to take his legs. What, did he give you a look?
Yeah, violently and quickly did it.
So here I am. I'm pulling in, I'm pushing, I'm trying to get weight off his feet. So if I have to, I'll readjust, but I want a straight line from my shoulder all the way down. Now when I pull back and take his legs with me, That's usually how it goes right there.
It's crazy pressure.
But it's not muscle pressure. It's my lever.
Alignment, yeah.
So it's just my shoulder. Now, guys, if I'm up here, number one, I can't get as much weight off his feet, and I can't put pressure on his abdomen. Now, he's a little bit taller than me, so a shorter guy would be better for me. But if I'm in here, that's what I want right there. And I just pull away, and when I pull away, I take his feet with me.
I've never felt that kind of pressure on the wall.
That's what I want. I mean, the wall is my friend. I'm not you guys. Hey, when I was fighting, and somebody wanted to come watch me practice, I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to take you down, and I'm going to beat you up. And if you can stop that, you're better than I am. Get your hand raised. So that's going to go into right in number 2. You're in my garden. We all want to get up. What? It's 50-50 from here. What's he got? He's got striking. What do I have? Submissions. That's why it's 50-50. I really don't have any striking for here. I've got all kinds of submissions. He's got striking. When I'm coaching somebody on the ground, I don't even tell him, unless you can throw a good hook or an elbow, don't strike. Because if he's on top of me and I do this, what's he want to do back? He wants to hit me back. That's human nature. So don't. If he will let me turn it into a grappling match, better for me. Does it make sense? So I don't want to encourage him to strike at me because that's his advantage right now. That's why it's 50-50. I've got submissions, he's got striking. But I want to get up. It's hard to win a match down here unless I submit him. Judges don't like it. Nobody likes it. So I want to get up. You guys want to get up. Now, he'll let me touch my head against the wall, but he won't let me do this. That's start exactly, and just pull me back. If I come up here, he's just gonna pull me back. But when I come up here, elevation is a great thing. There's a lot of times when I corner people, I'll always yell, "Raise your hips," because the guy who elevates faster a lot of times wins the scramble. I'll say it every match. Raise your hips, because I want my guy's hips going high. So when I come in here, I want to elevate. First my head comes up, then I pick a side. Usually it's my left side. I'll come up here just like this. I'm trying to keep him. Now he's made a mistake right now. He wants to get me back, so he's doing everything he can to pull me back that way. Just pull me back and get me off the fence. Here. That's what he wants. But I want to come up and I want to come. I'm on my shoulder first. After my shoulder, I can elevate to my elbow. After my elbow, to my hand. I've got more momentum or more ability with my hand than my elbow with my shoulders. So the higher you go, the better off you are. So as he's coming in, he's trying to pull me away. I'm now pushing my feet against the mat, and I'm bridging back. I'm trying to stay to the wall. It's like the two plates. Two plates come together in the earth. They hit each other, they come up. I'm doing the same thing. I'm pushing against this wall, hoping to come up the wall. Does it make sense? So my whole time I'm coming up. So as he's coming up, as of right now, he might be trying to give up on pulling me away because I'm on top of my hips right now. So he's probably going to just follow me up. When I come up now, I want to kind of have my underhook side so I can have something as I stand up. So on my way up, now then, I've just come in and I've pummeled into my underhook. Now when I push up against the fence and come up, I've come up armed with my underhook, as opposed to trying to get it after I get on my feet, because it's a lot harder. Because if he comes up without an underhook, I'm just going to dump him. Okay? One more time. I'm here. My head's touching the fence. I lean back. I'm pushing now. This whole time I'm pushing up against the fence with my feet and my elbow. I turn. I come to my elbow. At some point, I'm going to keep pushing back. I'm going to come to my hand. And then from here, I'm going to be looking for my underhook. Now my underhook, now then I can pull him towards me a little bit. I can keep pushing. I'll push off the ground, and I come up. What you just saw is how it happens 90% of the time. Because he knows he's made too many mistakes. In the fight world, you don't want to make one big, huge mistake, and you don't want to put 2 or 3 or 4 small mistakes together. And he put 2 or 3 or 4 small mistakes together, and he lost all that position. Does it make sense? Even if we're on the ground and I start coming up, it's better for him if I start doing this to come all the way to this wall. Just it's better for him to do this right here and get me perpendicular to the wall. Even though I've got great angle, he's got to watch out for triangles right now, or arm bars right now, because I've got great angle pushing the fence to come here. He's got to watch that, but it's better for him to keep me on the ground than for me to come up.